Magandang umaga, Filipinas. Good morning. You're watching Eagle News Mornings from Canada. I'm Thomas I. Likeness, reporting from our Eagle News studio in Western Canada. In Alberta, my city is Edmonton, and I'm bringing you news and commentary from across the country. Well, we're at the midway point of another week, Wednesday morning. We finished today, only 2 days to go, and then it's another weekend. Today, it's going to be another hot and rainy day in Metro Manila. Supposed to be partly cloudy, 27 degrees. That's where we're at right now. Feels like 32. Apparently, the temperature is supposed to get up to about 33 degrees, and it will feel like 40. Throughout the morning, expect 1 or 2 showers. And again, if you have breathing difficulties, a chronic health problem, heart problems or anything like that, stay inside if you can. The air quality is rated as poor. Well, you know where the coffee pot is, so just help yourself to that second cup right now. Then sit back, relax, and let us bring you up to date with what's happening in Canada. First, we'll have a look at the weather across Canada. Our street scene today comes from Sydney, not Australia. There's no opera house there. Sydney, British Columbia. Eagle News correspondent Vanessa Delacruz shot this video. Thanks, Vanessa. Now, Sydney, like I said, is just outside the BC capital of Victoria. Across the country, we'll begin on the west coast in Victoria, mostly cloudy and 14 degrees. Across the Strait of Georgia, Vancouver, also cloudy, 15. We cross the mountains now, get to Alberta. In Edmonton, we have clouds. We had a lot of rain here today. It seems to have dried. Is it dried up now? It's still raining, I'm told. And it's a chilly 8 degrees out there. It feels like the fall. I thought this was coming up summertime. Calgary, partly cloudy and 14. Over to Saskatchewan, where Regina is reporting cloudy skies and 18. Saskatoon, 16 and cloudy. In Winnipeg, 17 in clouds. Now, Toronto, you get into Ontario, and a large part of the province, they've got a heat wave there. In Toronto, and you know how humid it is with that breeze off the Great Lakes there. It's mainly sunny there, 27 degrees, and I would imagine it just feels like a steam bath there today. Ottawa, also very hot, sunny, up to 30 degrees, and we'll be talking to our Eagle News correspondent, Andre Lajoie, a little later on about the heat up there. It's mighty warm. We go over to Montreal now, mainly sunny and 28. The Atlantic provinces warm, sunny and 21 in Fredericton, New Brunswick. Over in Nova Scotia, Halifax reporting some clouds and 21 degrees. Up in St. John's, Newfoundland, partly cloudy, it's 16. Well, here are some of the stories we are following today. Deplorable living conditions in 5 Ontario nursing homes. The Ontario government makes sure there's food on the table for shut-ins. What are the thoughts of Canadians about the pandemic? Canada will host an international, actually co-host an international conference on the economic fallout from the pandemic. We have an update from the capital region of Canada, and we'll take a peek at what BC's tourism industry might look like as we slowly ease our way out of the restrictions of the pandemic. But first, seniors lying in soiled diapers, people being force-fed, choking as a result, patients left lying on the floor after falling out of bed, and little or no disinfection of facilities. These are among the findings in the military report released today on conditions in 5 privately owned Ontario nursing homes. Here are some other findings. Staff aggressively repositioning patients, leaving food in a patient's mouth while they're sleeping, inappropriate use of PPE by all staffing levels, including doctors, people who should know better. Staff putting food and other important belongings out of the reach of residents. Topical prescription medications, like ointments and so on, being shared between residents. Wound care supplies were insufficient or locked away. And shortages led to residents sleeping on beds with no linen, which resulted in increased breakdown of their skin. Unbelievable. It sounds like an asylum out of the Middle Ages, and, sadly, this isn't new. These problems have been in homes for years, but nobody seemed to notice. Nobody said anything until the pandemic. Then there were a lot of deaths in nursing homes, and they said, well, we got staff shortages. So the military was called in. Military was called in to help out. Dozens of military personnel working in those long-term care facilities, not only in Ontario, but also in Quebec, doing such things as cleaning, serving food. Some of them are helping residents with their basic needs. And they are the ones who noticed what went wrong. They are the ones who said, hey, this isn't right. They told their superior officers, and this information was passed on to the Ontario government. You know, the death of one resident in one of those homes has been referred to the coroner for investigation. Ontario Premier Doug Ford today said he's not ruling out criminal charges. And this is how Ford reacted to the whole situation. You can see his emotion.
After being devastated by serious COVID-19 outbreaks, these 5 homes had reached a crisis situation. And that's why we called in the military for help. We knew these homes were having serious problems and needed help. But until yesterday morning, we didn't know the full extent of what these homes, what these residents were dealing with. The reports they provided us were heartbreaking. They were horrific. It's shocking that this can happen here in Canada. It's gut-wrenching, and reading those reports was the hardest thing I've done as Premier, knowing that so much more needs to be done. But what I am feeling, what we all are feeling, is little in comparison to the hardship that these residents and their families have had to endure.
Now, Ford said the system is broken. He'll do what is necessary to fix it, and he isn't ruling out the provincial government taking over privately run homes. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau said care for seniors has to be improved. This morning, he said he also found the report deeply disturbing.
As I've said many times, we need to do a better job of caring for the people who built this country. The greatest generation saw us through World War II, and we need to be there to support them properly through this global crisis.
Truly unacceptable in a country like Canada, and I hope this isn't going to be a typical government response where you hold a few news conferences, you order the investigation, you produce a report, and then it gathers dust on a shelf somewhere. Hopefully there'll be some action on that. I'll tell you right now, there's a couple of multi-million-dollar lawsuits been filed in Ontario. Let's stay in Ontario, but this is a good news story. Eagle News correspondent Ashley Sackmar tells us how people are making sure those who can't get out to the supermarket have something to put on the dinner table.
During the unprecedented times of the COVID-19 pandemic, when people are facing food shortages and limited mobility, acts of kindness are coming from within people's communities all across Ontario. Yesterday, Premier Doug Ford shared the efforts of thousands of Ontarians that have volunteered to deliver food, vital necessities, run errands, and to offer support to those who have been severely affected by COVID-19.
This morning, I went to the new Daily Bread warehouse. These guys are just incredible over there, absolutely incredible. With funding from the province, they put together 60,000 hampers of food, all to help those most in need across the city. And I also want to give a shout out to Feed Ontario. They were both there, incredible groups. My friends, it's this kind of action that shows what it means to be Canadian.
The Ontario government has been in partnership with Spark Ontario, an online program that connects Ontarians who are willing to volunteer with response efforts to the COVID-19 pandemic. Over 6,500 people have volunteered in their communities through Spark Ontario by helping those most vulnerable by shopping for their groceries and by assisting them in understanding technology.
Today, I'm so proud. Over 6,500 Ontarians answered this call. That's over 6,500 people who raised their hand to help deliver vital necessities, support local food banks, or check in on those who need extra support. To everyone who signed up, I thank you.
The Ontario Community Support Program and Ontario Community Support Association have increased the capacity of their Meals on Wheels program. Over 500 meal referrals and 2,000 essential referrals were made through these programs. Minister of Seniors and Accessibility Richard Cho stated that Spark Ontario's Volunteer Hub provides a helping hand and reassurance that they are not alone. Premier Ford also praised and thanked volunteers for showing true Ontario spirit.
Almost 1 month ago, we launched the Ontario Community Support Program. Since then, we've received over 500 meal referrals and over 2,000 essential supply referrals for deliveries to those in isolation, low-income seniors, and people with disabilities and chronic medical conditions. The need is great, but the people of this province are meeting the challenge with kindness, compassion, and generosity.
Additionally, Associate Minister of Small Business and Red Tape Reductions, Pradmeet Sarkaria, said that small businesses have been essential in the many volunteer operations in Ontario.
Ontario is home to some of the best and brightest businesses in the country. Through COVID-19, we've seen them step up and rise to the challenge and support their communities like never before. And that's why we want to help showcase the true Ontario spirit. Today, we're launching the Small Businesses Big Hearts campaign to recognize the amazing work small businesses are doing in their communities. If you know of a small business that's helping make life easier for you, your family, or your neighbors, we want to hear about it. We want to be able to help showcase the amazing work that's being done across this province. So please, reach out to us with their stories at bighearts@ontario.ca so we can do our part in helping support the great work that they're doing.
In the face of crisis, the sense of community, generosity, and kindness are just as essential in keeping everyone connected and getting through this crisis one day at a time, one act of kindness at a time. In Toronto, Ashley Sackmar, Eagle News, we live in interesting times.
Well, how well do you think your government has handled the pandemic? Do you think it's doing a good job? Is it telling you the truth about the pandemic? Well, here in Canada, a public opinion poll done for the Association for Canadian Studies reveals that 74% of those surveyed say they're satisfied with the way the Canadian government has handled the pandemic. Now, this is interesting. 45% say they're very concerned, and 41% say they're somewhat concerned that there will be a second wave of the infection this fall. And this, 50% of respondents thought governments are deliberately withholding information about COVID-19. And when asked about various conspiracy theories, 53% agreed with one or more of 9 theories that were presented. And these are the theories. 37% say they believe COVID-19 was created in a laboratory. 34% say the virus was created by the Chinese government. Now, 19% feel the number of deaths has been exaggerated. 16% bought into one of these 3 theories, either that COVID-19 is like the regular flu, that there's a cure but it's not being released, and that the infection was created to make the vaccine mandatory. Another 15% say the 5G network is linked to the spread of the virus. 12% say Bill Gates is behind the spread of COVID-19. 10% say the pandemic was created to interfere with the re-election of Donald Trump. And 7% say, COVID-19 never existed. Pass out the tinfoil hats. Prime Minister Trudeau says Canada and Jamaica will co-host a United Nations conference this week to deal with the economic fallout from the COVID-19 pandemic.
On Thursday, I will be convening a high-level meeting with the Secretary General of the UN and the Prime Minister of Jamaica to consider global economic challenges and how to better support developing countries. We're bringing together leaders from every region of the world, as well as the heads of international institutions, to work on shared strategies to protect the global economy, support our citizens, and help the most vulnerable.
Hopefully the most vulnerable will include people living in extended care homes in Canada. Still to come, we'll update you on what's happening in Ottawa and what plans there are for BC's tourism industry. You're watching Eagle News Mornings from Canada.
Iba't iba man ang pinanggalingan, iisa lang ang pinangahawakan. Ang pangarap na makilala sa kanilang larangan. Mas titindi pa ang performances ng ating mga TNG aspirants dito lang sa pinakabago at pinakamalaking talent competition ng Philippine Television. Ito ang...
Tagisan ng Galing is presented by SMC Infrastructure, building a better world. Sandig sugar-free white coffee, puno ng white coffee taste without the sugar, kaya lower calories. Try mo na Sandig sugar-free white coffee. Sarap ng white coffee, now sugar-free. Vet-approved Nutrichops, the only premium dog food with active boost for optimum energy and prebiotics that help strengthen immunity. Just like Catherine Bernardo, gawing listo ganado ang fur babies niyo. Listo ganado sa Nutrichops. Magnolia Chicken Templados, delicious, ready to cook and freshly marinated daily. Pure Foods Lunch and Meat, pure sarap for every family. Star Chunky Cheese Corned Beef, ang cheesy ng corned beef mo. Walang duda, kids can tell na #1 ang Pure Foods Tender Juicy. Ang tender, ang juicy, ang sarap. Co-presented by Cooper, expert in air conditioning and electromechanical. Also engaged in structural, electrical, fire protection, plumbing, and sanitary services. Cooper, your ultimate MEPS and air conditioning solutions. Unlad Incorporated International, fight against global poverty. New San Jose Builders Incorporated. Canrib Corporation, your ventilation and air conditioning specialist. Vita Herbs Philippines Green Coffee, masarap, mabango, at healthy pa. Puerto Rico Resort and Convention Center, Cabiao, Nueva Ecija. I love Puerto Rico. Participation with Rain or Shine Elastomeric Waterproofing Paint. Color for protection for your home. Matimco. Matimco is wood. Wood is Matimco. R Square Variables Incorporated, your trusted UPS supplier and UPS maintenance provider in Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. CompuZell Computer Services, ID card and lanyard manufacturer. Saisho International Trading Corporation, DN Steel, EMAC UPB Roof Corporation.
Hey, Gretchen Ho here, and I'm a white coffee lover. Creamy kasi, and very yummy. Pero mas masarap kung hindi nakaka-guilty. Check my new discovery, Sandmix Sugar-Free White Coffee. Puno ng white coffee taste without the sugar, kaya lower calories. Try mo na! Sandmix Sugar-Free White Coffee. Sarap ng white coffee, now sugar-free.
The Bulacan Bulk Water Project is a treatment facility that will provide bulk water to the 24 municipalities of Bulacan to meet the increasing water demand of its residents. Through concessionaire, SMC Infrastructure also initiated the significant improvements of the Manila North Harbor Port, the country's busiest port.
Listo at ganado ang baby ko sa vet-approved Nutrichunks with active boost and prebiotics na pampalisto. Made with real meat, with essential nutrients to help them grow healthy and happy. Listo, ganado sa Nutrichunks.
Ikaw lang ang star ng buhay ko. Para sa akin, perfect ka. Ibang klase ang sarap ng corned beef mo. Ang cheesy ng corned beef mo. Pag Star Chunky Cheese Corned Beef, sarap ng corned beef, inangat pa ng real cheese cubes. Kaya perfect ang sarap. Star Chunky Cheese Corned Beef.
This is Eagle News Mornings from Canada. I'm Thomas I. Likeness. Well, workers at General Motors in Canada have shifted gears. They're making personal protective equipment now instead of cars. They're making, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has said they've got a contract with them to make 10 million face masks. He says another contract has been signed with another company to make 10,000 ventilators. We now go to Ottawa, where we'll talk with our Eagle News correspondent, Andre Lajoie. Good morning, Andre. I'm just having a little trouble talking here. But
good morning, Tom.
Cold. I understand it's hot where you are. Good morning, Andre.
Yes, it's very hot, Tom, here in Ottawa. Public health official issued a heat warning for the city on Monday, recommending that the local business and organization be proactive in promoting heat wave safety. People are not aware of how to adjust activities appropriately in this weather, said Dr. Vera Hitches, Associate Medical Officer with the Ottawa Public Health. It's important that the employers help them out. For its part, Ottawa Public Health has dispatched nurses and on-staff retirement homes around the city to make sure that the elderly residents are coping. People should also check on families, friends, neighbors, and may be insulated or vulnerable to the heat, helping, if possible, find places to cool down. We all have to look out for each other's, Hitches said. And that, it seems that exactly what people are doing. Dr. Pamela Hesler-Parsh, Chief of Staff at Bruyère Continuing Care, said staff have stopped its monitoring and patient fluid levels, and there will be more fans on ice available on site as long as the temperature remains high. Outdoor exercise are also canceled in the facilities for the duration of the heat wave. The supervisor, Brendan McKee, said that McNabb Park Pool quickly became an event for those fleeing the heat on Monday. By 5:30 p.m., half of our before the pool closed, McKee said that probably seen the last of 200 visitors come through. Of course, swimming pools were not the only place to cool. City Hall also encouraged people to seek relief from heat on beaches, community center, and branches in the Ottawa Public Library. The main library branch downtown saw the usual number of early arrivals double Monday morning. More than 70 people were waiting enter the cool mild level building when it opened, as the security guard said. It imposed the greatest risk on senior citizens, the homeless people, and the antidepressant and Parkinson medication of those who are chronic respiratory ailments. But anyone can suffer heat-related illness, including dehydration, heat exhaustion, and heat stroke. This can result in dizziness, nausea, extreme thirst, or sweating seizures, and in some cases death. People are just not used to the weather, so they should slow down their activities, says the paramedic spokesman, J.P. Trottier. If people do not take precaution, especially if they have any prior condition, it's a recipe for disaster. To beat the heat, people should drink plenty of fluids, limit their outdoor activities, spend much more time as possible in air conditioning environment, and put some sunscreen to protect themselves from the heat. Most especially, listen to your body. If you feel thirsty, drink bottles of water. If you feel hot or tired, stop what you're doing and cool down, said Betsy. Do not push your body in weather like this. Ici André Lajoie, ici in Ottawa, Canada, André Lajoie, nous vivons une époque intéressante.
Andre, before you go, quick advice. How do you personally try to stay cool?
Well, I do a lot of sports and exercise outside, so I try to drink a lot of fluids and limit my outdoor activities. and stay as much as cool as inside with the air conditioning and things like that, you know.
Well, stay cool, and I know you're a cool guy, and we'll talk to you again, hopefully this week. We now go to British Columbia. We've got Jeanette Doiseau standing by live. Jeanette, I understand you've got an update for us on what's happening with the tourism industry in your province this summer.
Hi, Tom, and good morning to all our viewers. Yes, this week, actually May 24, marks the beginning of Tourism Week 2020 in British Columbia. As in other places around the world, tourism is one of the most hit sector of the economy by COVID-19. To give a big picture about tourism industry in British Columbia, in 2018, British Columbians spent about $7 billion on international travel, including day trips to the United States. Likewise, about the same amount international travelers spent in British Columbia in the same year. So there are 59 BC community destination marketing organizations severely impacted by travel restrictions. These organizations are not for-profit organizations promoting tourism in their regions. So they rely on funds charged to visitors by hotels and other type of accommodations through the municipal and regional district tax. And as we all know, hotels are closed. Many transition to creating safe shelters for frontline workers and homeless people. So now the province of British Columbia province announced that it will be helping the industry with a $10 million grant. So Destination British Columbia, a provincially funded destination marketing organization whose mandate is to support and promote the business of tourism throughout the province, is leading the sector to help recovery through its three-phase marketing recovery system: response, recovery, and resilience. So Destination BC put a campaign out inviting people to explore and visit local businesses within their community. Some places showcase their communities online and encourage people to plan to visit at another time. So one example is that very famous Stanley Park in Vancouver, which is almost always a part of visitors list in Vancouver. They have school and public programs that connect thousands of people with nature through their Stanley Park Ecology Society. At the moment, they have online events like Stanley Park Owls, Urban Coyotes, which they charge for with varying fees based on what the participants want to see. So as I mentioned earlier, in 2018, about $7 billion were spent by international travelers in British Columbia, and tourism contributed over $20 billion in revenues to British Columbia's economy. So people who have been bit by the travel bug in the past, exploring new places and experiencing new things, they would have to stay put for now. In Victoria, British Columbia, Jeanette Doiseau, Eagle News. We live in interesting times.
Jeanette, thank you for the report. I wish I could come out there, but I understand tourism is kind of limited to BC residents these days.
Yes, yes, okay. It is.
Well, we'll talk to you again. And I want to remind you about another great program from EBC. It's Unfiltered Discussions with Frendel Feheran. Join Frendel as she and others discuss real-life balancing acts between work and home. You can find them on Facebook and YouTube. That's our program for today. On behalf of the Canadian News team, I wish you all good health. Take care of others. Take care of yourselves. Stay home, stay safe, and stay tuned to Eagle News for accurate and balanced coverage of the COVID-19 pandemic and other current affairs. In Edmonton, Canada, Thomas I. Likeness, Eagle News. We live in interesting times. Stay tuned for Agila Balita, hosted by Maricar Valesco.
Thank you, Tom. Stay safe.
Morning.
Na ang mga pangunahing balita sa loob at labas ng bansa. Tinagid at kinalap ng Agila News Team. Agila Balita.
Narito ang mga maiinit na balita. Ngayon ay Miyerkules, Mayo 27, 2020. Sa ulo ng mga balita. Coronavirus disease cases sa bansa umakyat na sa 14,669. Record high na 350 record high infections na itala ng DOH. Pagbibigay ng gamot na hydroxychloroquine sa mga COVID patients ititigil na ng Department of Health dahil sa safety issues. National Telecommunications Commission hiniling sa Korte Suprema na ibasura ang petisyon ng ABS-CBN na ipahinto na ang kanilang inisyong cease and desist order laban sa media network. Sa ating balitang abroad, Hong Kong-born billionaire na si Stanley Ho pumanaw na sa edad na 98. Ako ang inyong magiging tagapaghatid balita. Ako po si Maricar Velasco. Sa detalye ng mga balita, umakyat na sa 14,669 ang bilang ng mga naitalang COVID-19 cases sa bansa. Ito ay matapos makapagtala ang Department of Health ng record high na 350 na bagong kaso ng COVID-19 infections sa nakalipas na 24 hours. Mayroon namang naitalang karagdagang 89 na COVID patients ang nakarecover mula sa sakit. Dahil dito, umakyat na ngayon sa 3,412 ang bilang ng mga pasyente na gumaling mula sa virus. May 13 namang naiulat na nasawi dahil sa COVID-19. Dahil dito, umabot na ngayon sa 886 ang bilang ng nasawi dahil sa naturang sakit sa bansa. Pagbibigay ng gamot na hydroxychloroquine sa mga COVID patients ititigil na ng Department of Health o DOH dahil sa safety issues. Si Madeline Villar Moratillo sa detalye.
Ititigil na ng Department of Health ang pagbibigay ng anti-malarial drug na hydroxychloroquine sa mga pasyente na mayroong COVID-19. Itong kinumpirma ni Health Undersecretary Maria Rosario Vergere bilang pagsunod na rin sa naging desisyon ng World Health Organization na itigil muna ang pagbibigay ng nasabing gamot. Sinabi ni Vergere hanggat ito ay habang isinasa ilalim pa aniya sa review ang mga epekto ng gamot na ito at kung talagang ligtas ba itong gamitin sa mga pasyente na mayroong COVID-19. Ang desisyon ng WHO ay kasunod ng isang pag-aaral kung saan sinasabing ang hydroxychloroquine ay nakapagpapataas ng risk ng kamatayan sa isang COVID patient na binigyan ng gamot na ito.
Of course, we follow WHO guidelines on this because this is a WHO solidarity trial. In fact, this morning nagpalabas na po ng sulat ang ating proponent at pinadala sa aking opisina na sinasabi na nga po nila that we are pulling out and we are stopping from giving this hydroxychloroquine to our patients.
Pero paglilinaw ni Vergere, batay sa napagkasundoan ng executive group ng Solidarity Trial, ititigil ang pagbibigay ng nasabing gamot sa mga bagong COVID patient lamang. Para sa mga pasyente na nasa ospital at nabigyan na ng gamot na ito, tuloy pa rin ang pagbibigay sa kanila ng hydroxychloroquine hanggat hindi natatapos ang kanilang treatment.
Ang executive group ng Solidarity Trial ay nagpulong noong May 23 upang tingnan ng ebidensya mula sa iba't ibang pag-aaral, maging ang datos na ating nakalap mula sa Solidarity Trial. Ang executive group ay nagkasundo na anumang panghuling desisyon sa paggamit ng hydroxychloroquine ay dapat ibatay sa masusing pagsusuri mula sa nagaganap na randomized trials. Subalit dahil matatagalan ang ganitong masusing pagsusuri, napagpasyahan po ng WHO na mas mainam na munang itigil ang pag-allocate ng bagong pasyente sa hydroxychloroquine buhat ng mga adverse effects nito. Ngunit para sa mga pasyenteng sumasailalim na sa treatment na ito, magpapatuloy po sila hanggang matapos nila ang kanilang treatment.
Ang hydroxychloroquine ay isa sa mga gamot na pinag-aaralan sa ginagawang Solidarity Trial na pinangungunahan ng WHO at nilahukan ng maraming bansa, kabilang ang Pilipinas. Layo ng international clinical trial na ito na maghahanap ng gamot laban sa COVID-19. Kaugnay nito nilinaw naman ni Vergere na hindi pa sila maaaring maglabas ng anumang resulta o kung nagkaroon ng epekto ang nasabing gamot sa ilang COVID-19 patient na nabigyan nito.
Now with regard to the results or kung ano man po ang mga naging resulta nito sa ating mga pasyenteng na ngayon na nasa ospital ay hindi pa po natin pwedeng ilabas yan dahil we are on the clinical trial phase. But rest assured na tayo po ay titigil na muna magbigay nitong gamot dahil ito po ay nairekomenda ng WHO.
Ang hydroxychloroquine na gamot sa sakit ng malaria ay sinasabing nagbibigay ng magandang resulta sa mga COVID patient na binigyan nito. Kaya naman ginagamit na rin ito hindi lang sa Pilipinas kundi maging sa iba pang bansa. Sinabi ni Vergere na inaasahang sa Hunyo masisimulan ang pag-aaral sa mga sinasabing masamang epekto ng gamot na ito. Para sa Eagle News, Madeline Villar-Moratillo, we live in interesting times.
Iniimbestigahan na ng Department of Health ang mga alegasyon hinggil sa umunoy overpriced na medical equipment na binili ng tanggapan ngayong may health crisis. Sa pagdinig ng Senado, sinabi ni Health Secretary Francisco Duque III ang DOH at Procurement Service ng Department of Budget and Management ang bumubusisi sa issue. May nakuha na anya silang inisyal na datos at dokumento at anumang araw ay maaaring maglabas na ng resulta. Nauna nang sinabi ng Pangulo na siya ang nagbigay ng go signal para bumili ng mga PPEs kahit pamahal ang presyo nito. Pero hindi kumbinsido si Senate Minority Leader Franklin Drilon sa paliwanag ni Duque. Dapat pa rin anyang magkaroon ng patas at impartial na investigasyon. Giit ni Drilon, hindi ang mahal na PPEs ang issue kundi ang mga overpriced na medical supply na binili ng DOH at ang overpriced na testing kit packages na kinukuha ng pondo sa PhilHealth. Malinaw anyang liability ang ginawa ng kalihim at hindi pinoprotektahan ang public funds. Samantala, nagpahayag ng suporta ang Philippine Hospital Association sa Department of Health at sa kalihim nito na si Dr. Francisco Duque III. Sa gitna na rin ito ng mga panawagan na magbitiw na si Duque sa kasagsagan ng laban sa COVID-19. Giit ng PHA President Jaime Almora, sa panahong ito ay dapat na tumutok ang lahat sa pagtutulungan at pagkakaisa upang labanan ang kasalukuyang krisis.
Definitely, tanggalin muna natin ang politika sa ating anti-COVID campaign po. Magtulungan lang, yun ang focus po natin ngayon. How to cooperate and make our efforts be united in this fight. So, there is no clamor for any changes in the Department of Health, except they are asking for some hospitals have not received yet their PPEs, and we hope to get a survey today and get the names of those who have not received yet so that we can forward it to the DOH.
Kasabay nito, tiniyak ni Almora na ang kanilang mga member hospitals ay patuloy ang pagpapabuti ng infection prevention and control practices. Mas pinataas rin umano nila ang kanilang isolation capacity sa pamamagitan ng pagtatalaga ng mga kwarto sa kanilang pagamutan na nakalaan sa COVID-19 patients. Tiniyak rin ni Almora ang patuloy na pakikipagtulungan ng PHA sa DOH at sa pamahalaan sa pagpapatupad ng mga programang pangkalusugan nito. Kontento rin na niya ang PHA sa paraan ng pag-handle ng gobyerno upang makontrol ang pagkalat ng virus. Samantala, 3 anti-COVID-19 bills aprobado na ng Defeat COVID-19 Committee sa Kamara. May report si Eden Santos.
Inaasahang isasalang na sa deliberasyon ng plenaryo ang 3 tinaguriang anti-COVID-19 bills. Ito ay matapos aprobahan sa katatapos na isinagawang virtual meeting ng Defeat COVID-19 Ad Hoc Committee ang 568 billion peso Economic Stimulus Package o PESA Bill, Financial Institutions Strategic Transfer of Fees Bill at Anti-Discrimination Bill. Ayon kay House Majority Leader at later Representative Martin Romualdez, co-chairperson ng DCC, kasama ng 3 bills ang 1.3 trillion peso economic stimulus measure hanggang 2023 para muling pasiglahin ang ekonomiya at protektahan ang mga mamamayan, particular ng medical frontliners mula sa iba't ibang forma ng diskriminasyon bunsod ng COVID-19. Binigyang din ng opisyal ng iba't ibang cluster ng DCC ay nagtrabahong mabuti para maaprobahan ang mga nasabing bills upang matugunan ang nagaganap na economic meltdown hindi lang sa Pilipinas kundi maging sa ibang mga bansa, gayon din upang maprotektahan ang karapatan ng mga tao. Sinabi ni Romualdez na ang mga bill na ito ay hindi naman solusyon sa lahat ng problema, subalit magsisilbing susunod na hakbang para sa calibrated response ng gobyerno upang mabawasan ang paghihirap ng mamamayan.
Last March 23, we acted with dispatch in passing the Bayanihan Act to Heal Us One Act, and that law has empowered the national government to feed 18 million of our people for the last 2 months that they were trapped in community quarantine. But we all know that these doleouts are not forever. We have to jumpstart our economic activities while keeping our people healthy the soonest time possible to ensure our survival as a nation.
Ikinatuwa naman ni House Speaker Alan Peter Cayetano ang pag-aproba sa anti-COVID-19 bills sa kabila ng iba't ibang isyung nakakagambala sa trabaho ng Kamara.
These three measures will form part of Congress' larger AIM or the Adapt, Innovate, and Manage initiative. It will ease the impact of the virus on those most vulnerable sectors of our society. The Bayanihan We Heal as One Act, despite some delays and mistakes in its implementation, is good law. It covered the last 2 months. Now we are called upon as a nation and here in Congress to discern, to pray, and to work hard towards crafting a new and comprehensive law towards that will address our new lives, our new economy.
Para sa Eagle News, Eden Santos, we live in interesting times.
Tinawag na anti-poor ng mga senators ang utos ni Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte na huwag buksan ang klase hanggat walang bakuna. Pero ang DOH tiniyak na ligtas ang mga bata sa school opening kahit walang bakuna. Si Mian Corvera sa detalye.
Ipinarerepaso ng mga senador sa Duterte administration ang patakaran nito na magsuspende ng klase sa buong bansa hanggat walang available na bakuna laban sa coronavirus disease. Ayon kay Senator Ralph Recto, dapat ituring ng gobyerno ang edukasyon bilang essential needs. Gaya ng hakbang ng pamahalaan na payagan ng magbukas ang ilang mga restaurant at mga business establishments, dapat na rin anyang payagang bumalik sa eskwelahan ang mga bata. Para naman kay Senador Sherwin Gatchalian, anti-poor ang hakbang ng pamahalaan. Iginit ng senador na kahit may health crisis, dapat magkaroon ng innovations o paraan ang gobyerno para magpatuloy ang pagbibigay ng edukasyon sa mga bata. Paalala naman ni Senate Minority Leader Franklin Drilon nakasaad sa Republic Act 7977 na dapat ang pagbubukas ng klase ay hindi lumampas sa August 24. Dapat anyang magdesisyon hinggil dito ang gobyerno dahil hindi naman kakayanin ng online learning at virtual classes na nais mangyari ng Department of Education. Marami kasi anya sa mga bata sa mga pampublikong eskwelahan ang walang gadgets at internet connections at maaring mapag-iwanan sila ng mga nasa pribadong eskwelahan. Nauna nang sinabi ng Pangulo na hindi niya papayagang magbukas ang klase dahil hindi nakasisiguro na ligtas ang mga bata sa COVID-19. Pero sa pagdinig ng Senado, tiniyak ni Health Secretary Francisco Duco III na ligtas ang mga bata sa COVID pandemic kung magdedesisyon ang DepEd na simulan ng klase sa August 24. Gayunman, kailangan anyang masunod ang minimum health standards sa lahat ng eskwelahan gaya ng physical distancing, madalas na paghuhugas ng kamay, disinfection ng mga classroom, pagpapakalat ng alcohol at mga thermal scanner. Kailangan din anyang abisuhan ng mga magulang na huwag papasukin ang mga anak kapag may sakit.
Yung opinion or suggestion ninyo, may pagpaliban na lang muna as not President Duterte last night.
Pag-aralan po natin maigi ito, pero sa ngayon po, tingin namin na ligtas naman po kung bubuksan natin ang klase by August 24. At kinakailangan po dito, siguraduhin lamang na ang lahat ng ating minimum standards for health ay nakatalaga. Ito po yung ito po yung mga physical distancing, frequent washing of the hands, ito pong disinfection ng mga silid-aralan, ang ating pong mga sinisiguro na ang alcohol, sanitizers, andyan po. At marami po tayong mga measures na katulad ng fever scanning or thermal scanning. Pwedeng ma-adapt po ito ng bawat paaralan para titingnan kung sino sa mga bata ang mga may sakit.
Sabi pa ng kalihim, naniniwala naman sila sa DepEd na may sapat silang programa para protektahan ang mga bata. Kung matutukoy naman anya na maraming COVID cases sa isang barangay, Otomatiko nilang ipasususpinde ang operasyon ng eskwelahan na sakop ng naturang barangay.
For antimano, meron ng abiso sa mga mag-aaral na sa mga magulang na kapag may sakit ang kanilang mga anak ay wag po sila dapat pumasok.
Pero giiti Senator Bongo, kailangan mo ng matiyak na ligtas sa virus ang mga bata. Suportado ni Senador Sani Angara ang pahayag ni Senador Go. Sabi ni Angara, masyado pang maaga ang Agosto para sa school opening, pero aminado itong kailangan mo ng amyendahan ng batas para maipagpaliban ang pagbubukas ng klase. Para sa Eagle News, may Ann Corvera, will live in interesting times.
Malacanang nagpaliwanag tungkol sa pahayag ni Pangulong Duterte na no COVID-19 vaccine, no classes para sa school year 2020-2021. May report si Vic Sumintak.
Niliwanag ng Malacanang ang pahayag ni Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte sa kanyang Talk to the Nation na no COVID-19 vaccine, no classes para sa school year 2020-2021. Sinabi ni Presidential Spokesman Harry Roque na hindi nangangahulugan na walang magaganap na pag-aaral ng mga estudyante habang wala pang natutuklas ang bakuna kontra COVID-19. Ayon kay Roque, ang tinutukoy ng Pangulo ay ang face-to-face learning na nakagawian noong wala pa ang COVID-19 pandemic. Inihayag ni Roque na tuloy ang paghahanda ng Department of Education o DepEd para sa pagbubukas ng klases sa August 24, 2020-2021 academic year. Binigyang diin ni Roque na gagamit ang DepEd ng blended learning system sa pamagitan ng virtual classes sa mga may access sa internet at gagamitin naman ang radyo at telebisyon sa mga lugar na walang internet.
Ibig sabihin po niyan, habang wala pang bakuna at habang wala pa tayo sa new normal, yung wala na pong community quarantine, hindi pa rin po tayo magkakaroon ng face-to-face classroom na mga klase. Pero, pag dumating naman po ang 24 Agosto at nasa new normal tayo, po pwede naman po. But, kung hindi po talaga dumating ang new normal at hindi ma-lift ang mga community quarantines, hindi naman po ibig sabihin na hindi na mag-aaral ang ating mga kabataan. Meron po tayong tinatawag na blended learning. Sang-ayon po kay Secretary Briones ng DepEd, gagamitin po natin ang telebisyon, ang radyo at ang internet para ipagpatuloy po ang edukasyon ng ating mga kabataan.
Para sa Eagle News, Vic Sumintak, we live in interesting times.
Korte Suprema sinimula na ang rapid testing sa mga empleyado at opisyal nito. May report si Moira Encina.
Sumailalim na sa rapid antibody test ang ilan sa mga kawani at opisyal ng Korte Suprema. Personal na ininspeksyon ni Chief Justice Josada Peralta ang magsimula ng rapid testing bilang paghahanda sa pagbalik ng full operations ng Korte Suprema. Isinagawa ito sa mga medical tents sa Supreme Court grounds para sa mga empleyado at sa Dignitaries Lounge para sa mga opisyal at maestrado. Unang sumalang sa rapid test ang mga kabilang sa skeleton staff at employees na obligadong pisikal na pumasok sa panahon ng quarantine. Ayon sa punong maestrado, ang rapid testing ay isa sa mga paraan ng Supreme Court para makatulong sa gobyerno na ma-flatten ang curve o maiwasan at mapagal ang pagkalat ng virus. Meron anyang sapat na rapid test kits ang SC para sa mga kawani nito. Karamihan anya sa mga SC employees ay isasalang sa rapid test sa oras na magbalik ang full operations ng Korte. Araw-araw isasagawa ang rapid test hanggang sa lahat ng mga empleyado ng Korte Suprema ay maisailalim sa rapid antibody test. Ang medical staff ng Supreme Court na binubuo ng 20 doktor, nurse at mga pharmacies ang nagsasagawa ng rapid test. Tiniyak naman ng Korte Suprema na nakipag-ugnayan ito sa Office of the City Mayor at sa mga kaukulang ahensya ng gobyerno sa pag-set up ng mga medical tents para sa sinasagawang rapid testing. Para sa Eagle News, Moira Encina, we live in interesting times.
Susunod, COVID-19 Testing Center ng PNP sa Camp Crame, Pinasinayaan. Ang detalye na yan sa pagbabalik ng Agila Balita sa umaga.
Agila Balita.
Iba't iba man ang pinanggalingan, iisa lang ang pinangahawakan. Ang pangarap na makilala sa kanilang larangan. Mas titindi pa ang performances ng ating mga TNG aspirants dito lang sa pinakabago at pinakamalaking talent competition ng Philippine Television. Ito ang
Tagisan ng Galing is presented by SMC Infrastructure, building a better world. Sandig sugar-free white coffee, puno ng white coffee taste without the sugar, kaya lower calories. Try mo na Sandig sugar-free white coffee. Sarap ng white coffee, now sugar-free. Vet-approved Nutri-Chunks, the only premium dog food with active boost for optimum energy and prebiotics that help strengthen immunity. Just like Catherine Bernardo, gawing listo, ganado ang fur babies niyo. Listo ganado sa Nutri-Chunks. Magnolia Chicken Templados, delicious, ready to cook and freshly marinated daily. Pure Foods Lunch and Meat, pure sarap for every family. Star Chunky Cheese Corned Beef, ang cheesy ng corned beef mo. Walang duda, kids can tell na #1 ang Pure Foods Tender Juicy. Ang tender, ang juicy, ang sarap. Co-presented by Kubert, expert in air conditioning and electromechanical. Also engaged in structural, electrical, fire protection, plumbing, and sanitary services. Cooper, your ultimate MEPS and air conditioning solutions. Unlad Incorporated International, fight against global poverty. New San Jose Builders Incorporated. Canrib Corporation, your ventilation and air conditioning specialist. Vita Herbs Philippines Green Coffee, masarap, mabango, at healthy pa. Puerto Rico Resort and Convention Center, Cabiao, Nueva Ecija. I love Puerto Rico. In participation with Rain or Shine Elastomeric Waterproofing Paint, color for protection for your home. Matimco. Matimco is wood. Wood is Matimco. Our Square Variables Incorporated, your trusted UPS supplier and UPS maintenance provider in Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. CompuZell Computer Services, ID card and lanyard manufacturer. Saisho International Trading Corporation, DN Steel, IMAC UPB Roof Corporation.
Hey, Aggression Ho here, and I'm a white coffee lover. Creamy kasi, and very yummy. Pero mas masarap kung hindi nakaka-guilty. Check my new discovery, Sandmade Sugar-Free White Coffee. Puno ng white coffee taste without the sugar, kaya lower calories. Try mo na! Sandmade Sugar-Free White Coffee. Sarap ng white coffee, now sugar-free.
The successful development of TPLEX, or Tarlac Pangasinan La Union Expressway in 2009, a 4-lane toll road that extends from Tarlac City to Rosario La Union, with an additional approved extension of 56 kilometers all the way to San Juan La Union. This is expected to reduce travel time to Baguio and other provinces in northern Luzon. Realizing the vision of creating a better world for Filipinos fueled the team's focus.
Listo at ganado ang baby ko sa vet-approved Nutri-Chunks with active boost and prebiotics na pampalisto. Made with real meat, with essential nutrients to help them grow healthy and happy. Listo, ganado sa Nutri-Chunks.
Ikaw lang ang star ng buhay ko. Para sa akin, perfect ka. Ibang klase ang sarap ng corned beef mo. Ang cheesy ng corned beef mo. Pag Star Chunky Cheese Corned Beef, sarap ng corned beef, inangat pa ng real cheese cubes. Kaya perfect ang sarap. Star Chunky Cheese Corned Beef.
Pinasinayaan na ng Philippine National Police ang sarili nilang COVID-19 testing center sa Campo Crame. Kasabay nito, inilunsad din ng NCRPO ang kanilang mobile swabbing truck na magsasagawa ng swabbings sa field para dadalhin na lang ang mga samples sa testing center. Ang detalye sa report ni Mar Gabriel.
Pinangunahan ni PNP Chief Police General Archie Gamboa ang pagpapasinaya ng bagong COVID-19 testing facility ng Philippine National Police sa crime laboratory sa Camp Crame.
This facility further contribute to our efforts to have a self-sustaining capability in addressing COVID-19 cases within the PNP organization. With this testing facility, we can aggressively push for testing so that we can locate, isolate, and care for COVID-19 carriers and those who are sick in order to keep our PNP offices and our communities safe enough to resume a level of responsiveness, responsive operations, and normal economic activities.
Ito'y matapos na matanggap ng PNP ang sertipikasyon mula sa Research Institute for Tropical Medicine o RITM at license to operate mula sa Department of Health. Kasabay nito, inilunsad din ng NCRPO ang kanilang mobile swabbing truck na magsasagawa ng swabbing sa field. Paliwanag ni Gamboa, mas kumbinyente ito para sa mga pulis na kailangang itest dahil hindi na nila kailangang pumunta sa Campo Crame para sa swabbing.
Hindi na pupunta yung mga kapulisan dito, pwede nang yung truck na lang ang lilibot. And then the National Capital Region has trained swabbing personnel, no? Para ang dating ng balik dito are the specimen, no? So it will make things faster.
Ayon kay Gamboa, may kakayahan sila na mag-test ng aabot sa 150 individual kada araw kung saan magiging prioridad ang mga pulis at ang kanilang mga dependent. Pero pinag-aaralan na rin ang pagbubukas ng testing center para sa mga sibilyan. Sinabi naman ni PNP Deputy Chief for Administration, Police Lieutenant General Camilo Casculan, na pansamantala lang ang COVID testing facility sa Crime Lab at ililipat ito sa gagawing permanenteng pasilidad sa likod ng gusali ng PNP Health Service. Para sa Eagle News, Mar Gabriel, we live in interesting times.
Mga pangyayari sa labas ng bansa. Balitang Abroad.
Pumanaw na ang Hong Kong-born billionaire na si Stanley Ho sa edad na 28. Ayon sa nilabas na statement ng pamilya ni Ho, binawian ng buhay ang tinaguriang godfather ng Macau Casino sa isang ospital alauna ng hapon kahapon. Ang billionaire businessman ay mayroong 17 mga anak na sinasabing magmamana ng kanyang naiwang kayamanan. Inilarawan ng China State-run CCTV si Ho na isang patriotic entrepreneur. Ayon sa pagtaya ng Bloomberg, ang pamilya ni Ho ay mayroong kayamanan na nagkakahalaga ng $14.9 billion. At yan ang naging kabuuan ng ating may init na balita. Sa pangalan ng ating mga kaagapay sa Eagle News Service, ako po si Maricar Velasco and we live in interesting times. Susunod na ang programang Saganang Mamamayan kasama sina Congressman Dante Marcoleta at Chen Superjaga.
Sumainyo ang mga balitang kinarap, maingat na isinulat at inihanay ng Eagle News Service. Agila Balita!
Makinig kayo sa aking payo. Ito ang tandaan ninyo. Huwag sasaksi sa mga bagay na hindi naman totoo. Huwag magbibitiw ng mga salita kung hindi ka naman sigurado, lalo't kung nakasalalay dito dangal ng isang tao. At sa mga nakikita sa internet, huwag agad maniniwala. Mag-ingat upang hindi kayo madaya. Dahil alam naman natin, hindi lahat ng balita ay tama. Maging matalino. Huwag magpapaloko. Mag-ingat sa pagpo-post, pagla-like, pag-share ng kung ano-ano. Dahil baka mamaya hindi mo na namamalayan, isa ka na pala sa mga tao nagkakalat ng maling kwento.
Hello there. Imagine Demi got the virus, and she infected 2 more. And those 2 infected a lot more of people. And it goes on and on until it became an epidemic. But what if Demi stayed at home? Then those 2 wouldn't have contracted the virus. Then those people would have not been infected. This is not just your battle, it's everyone's, and you can be a huge help. Follow social distancing, or better yet, stay at home.
Kababayan, naharap na naman po tayo sa mabigat na pagsubok na ito. Ito yung COVID-19.
I hope everyone's okay. I hope everyone's safe.
Nandito po kami para hikayatin pa po kayo na maging matibay.
Mas maging matatag po tayo and just stay positive po sa lahat po ng nangyayari ngayon.
Mga mahal kong kababayan, lampasan po natin, pagtagumpayan po natin ang pagsubok na ito.
Stay strong sa panahon po na to.
Huwag tayong mawawalan ng pag-asa.
At inihikayat din po namin kayo na sana makinig po tayo sa ating gobyerno.
Sumunod muna tayo sa gobyerno dahil yun yung pinakamainam na paraan para hindi na lumagana pa yung virus.
Let's all stay at home.
Spend time with our loved ones, with our families.
At higit po sa lahat, make sure to pray for everyone, pray for everything that is going on right now, especially our frontliners po who are sacrificing their lives to take care of everything.
Higit sa lahat, patuloy tayong lumapit, magtiwala at manalangin sa ating Panginoong Diyos.
Lagi tayong manalangin dahil yung po ang may pinaka-mainam na solusyon sa lahat po ng mga problema natin.
God bless you and your family. Please stay strong and keep our faith.
Tuloy po ang laban.
Ein sonniger Tag heute hier in Berlin vor dem Bundestag. Ich bin Irene Juliet Arzadon und möchte diese Gelegenheit nutzen, um ein paar Worte mit euch zu teilen. An alle Menschen da draußen. In dieser Zeit lasst uns nicht vergessen, den Menschen zu danken, die ihr Leben für uns opfern. Sei es die Menschen, die im Krankenhaus arbeiten, in den Altenheimen sowie in den Arztpraxen, aber auch an die Menschen, die im Lebensmittelhandel sich befinden. Die Kassierer. Manchmal reicht es aus, um ihnen ein freundliches Lächeln zu geben. Denn die Menschen, die heute am Arbeiten sind, weil sie nicht so wie einige von uns zu Hause bleiben können, die sollten wir wertschätzen. Ihnen sollten wir unseren Dank ausrichten. Darum lasst uns noch mehr zusammenhalten, sie wertschätzen